Introduction: the double face of a superfood. Tomatoes are celebrated worldwide as one of the healthiest foods. Rich in vitamin C, potassium, fiber, and the powerful antioxidant lycopene, they have even been called a true superfood. There is a saying, when tomatoes turn red, doctors turn pale. This simple phrase shows just how strongly people have associated tomatoes with vitality and well-being. But here is something surprising: even though tomatoes are incredibly nutritious, the way you combine them with other foods can either boost their benefits or reduce them dramatically. Some combinations may even work against your health in the long run. Food is never just one single ingredient. It is always about how nutrients interact with each other. While certain flavors go perfectly together on the tongue, that does not mean their nutrients harmonize inside your body. And that is why it is important to know which foods work well with tomatoes and which ones do not. But before we dive into these discoveries, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Secrets of Slim, Glow and Beauty. Here, you will always find inspiring guides to natural foods, wellness hacks, and lifestyle choices that may help you live with glow, balance, and confidence. The first no-go combination is tomatoes with sugar. Let us start with perhaps the most shocking combination: tomatoes with sugar. In some cultures, it is common to sprinkle tomatoes with sugar on hot summer days, even adding ice to enjoy them as a sweet refreshment. Some people even preserve tomatoes by soaking them in sugar. While this may sound tempting, nutritionally it is one of the worst pairings. Here is why. Your body uses vitamin B to break down sugar. When you sprinkle sugar over tomatoes, the vitamin B in the tomatoes is essentially used up to process the sugar instead of being absorbed by your body. Sugar also raises blood sugar levels rapidly, which can add to the burden of diets already high in refined carbohydrates and desserts. Consistently high sugar intake has been linked in research to negative effects on memory, brain health, and an increased risk of chronic conditions. To put it in perspective, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has already reported that most people consume more sugar daily than is recommended. Adding sugar to tomatoes may cancel out their benefits and add to an already overloaded system. The occasional sweet treat will not harm you. But when sugary cereals, sodas, desserts, and even ketchup are already part of daily life, combining sugar with tomatoes just deepens the problem. The second no-go combination is tomatoes with spinach. At first glance, pairing tomatoes with spinach seems brilliant. Tomatoes are rich in vitamin C, and spinach is full of iron. In theory, vitamin C helps the body absorb iron better. So wouldn't this be the perfect duo? Not quite. The problem lies in a natural substance called oxalates. Both tomatoes and spinach contain oxalates, but spinach is one of the richest sources. When oxalates bind to calcium in the body, they can form tiny, sharp crystals that may accumulate over time. This is particularly challenging for people with weaker kidneys, as it can contribute to discomfort or even kidney stones. Cooking spinach by blanching or boiling helps reduce oxalates. But the story does not end there. Iron from spinach can actually interfere with the absorption of lycopene, the powerful antioxidant in tomatoes that is thought to support vascular health and protect cells from oxidative stress. In fact, studies have shown that when tomatoes are combined with spinach, the absorption rate of lycopene can drop by almost half. This means that one of the greatest gifts of tomatoes, their lycopene content, is less effective when eaten together with spinach. So while spinach and tomatoes are both healthy foods on their own, combining them raw in salads or juices is not the best choice if you want to maximize the unique benefits of tomatoes. The third no-go combination is tomatoes with ketchup. This one may sound ironic, but one of the worst tomato-based foods to pair with your meals is ketchup. A single tablespoon of ketchup contains about 4 grams of sugar, often more than certain chocolate snacks. But that is not all. Commercial ketchup is usually loaded with high fructose corn syrup, salt, synthetic coloring, sweeteners, and additives. By the time tomatoes are processed into ketchup, most of their natural nutrients have already been stripped away. So, while people often believe ketchup is a healthier choice because it contains tomatoes, in reality, it is mostly sugar and additives. When combined with fries, burgers, or processed snacks, it simply amplifies an already unhealthy mix. The best combinations for tomatoes. Now that we have covered the 3 worst companions, let us look at the 3 best foods to pair with tomatoes. First, tomatoes with salt. It may sound unusual to list salt as a good partner, since we are often told to reduce it. But in small amounts, the combination works surprisingly well. Here's why. Tomatoes are very rich in vitamin C, but vitamin C is sensitive. It oxidizes easily when exposed to air. Sprinkling a little salt on freshly cut tomatoes forms a thin barrier, helping to slow down this oxidation. This way, more of the vitamin C stays intact until you eat it. And if you worry about sodium, remember that tomatoes are naturally high in potassium. Potassium helps balance sodium levels and supports healthy circulation. The body often excretes the extra sodium through the kidneys, so moderate use of salt with tomatoes can actually create a balanced effect. Second, tomatoes with protein-rich foods. Instead of pairing tomatoes with oxalate-heavy spinach, a better choice is protein-rich foods. Lean meats, fish, beans, or lentils complement tomatoes beautifully, both in taste and nutrition. Tomatoes provide antioxidants and vitamins, while proteins provide amino acids, which are the building blocks of your body. Together, they create meals that are both satisfying and nourishing. Think of grilled chicken with tomato salsa, or lentil stew with tomatoes simmered in the sauce. Third, tomatoes with olive oil. Perhaps the most powerful combination of all, tomatoes and olive oil. Cooking tomatoes actually increases the bioavailability of lycopene. Heat breaks down the cell walls of tomatoes, releasing more lycopene and making it easier for your body to absorb. And here's the fascinating part, lycopene is fat-soluble. This means it is absorbed much better when eaten with fat. Studies show that cooking tomatoes in olive oil can increase lycopene absorption by up to 9 times compared to eating them raw. Olive oil, rich in monounsaturated fats and polyphenol, creates the perfect synergy with tomatoes. Together, they become more than the sum of their parts. Whether you drizzle olive oil over fresh tomato salad or cook tomatoes into a rich Mediterranean sauce, this pairing is a true super combination. Practical tip: raw versus cooked. So, how should you enjoy tomatoes? Both raw and cooked have their place. Raw tomatoes are excellent for vitamin C and freshness. Cooked tomatoes unlock much more lycopene, especially with olive oil. The key is variety. Mix it up, enjoy a crisp tomato salad today, and a slow-simmered tomato sauce tomorrow. Let us recap what we have learned. Tomatoes are a superfood, but combinations matter. The 3 worst partners are sugar, spinach, and ketchup. The 3 best companions are salt, protein-rich foods, and olive oil. Raw tomatoes provide vitamin C, while cooked tomatoes offer enhanced lycopene absorption. Choosing wisely allows you to enjoy the full spectrum of this amazing fruit's benefits. If this video opened your eyes to the best and worst food combinations with tomatoes, take a moment now to like this video and subscribe to Secrets of Slim, Glow and Beauty. Here, you will discover more truths about everyday foods, wellness hacks, and natural beauty secrets that may inspire you to live healthier, happier, and more radiant. And let us know in the comments. Backhand index pointing right, did any of these combinations surprise you? Backhand index pointing right, which way will you try tomatoes next, raw with a pinch of salt, or cooked with olive oil? See you in the next video.